Near the southern bank of the Redwater Santa Fe River, we find a 30 feet deep hole of contrastingly clear water called the Devil's Ear. After passing by the various trees that have fallen into this hole, we reach a figure-8 shaped opening to the left with immense water velocity that requires us to pull hand over hand in order to combat its forces. Once inside, we can rest for a moment on either the left or right side of the opening out of its blasting flow. Now rested, I proceed toward the first warning sign just to the right of the junction tunnel to the Devil's Eye. Moving further into the main tunnel, we approach our second warning sign. At this time, it will be our final reminder that those untrained in special cave diving techniques will meet with almost certain death by venturing on. Now moving up to the ceiling, where the strong flow is diminished by the many obstructions, we meet with one of our partners in this video tour, John Kibler. Using scooters, we will be able to compress in real time the vast array and maze of tunnels in this system to the time frame of a 2-hour VHS format. After just entering this final room in this main tunnel, we follow the flow to the right, where a restriction, called the lips, spits water continuously at us with such force that we can no longer scooter against it, and must again resort to hand-over-hand pulling. Once through the lips, we enter a large room with a keyhole-shaped doorway at the end. To the right of this keyhole, and beyond this large rock, is a large, round, low room that was named the Devil's Gizzard by early cave explorers. After posting our primary line reel at the start of the permanent line at the keyhole, we continue on our journey toward the cornflakes. Dropping down another 15 foot of depth, we turn to the right and see John enter a low restriction path that is called the Cornflakes Restriction. Just beyond the cornflakes, we follow our permanent line to a junction room centered by a large table-like rock where our line makes a hard left turn. Following a large winding tunnel, we pass our first side passage. This side passage is purported to return back to a junction tunnel which connects just before the lips. After making several Z-bend turns following this winding tunnel, we come to the Hill 400 side passage jump off. Then, just beyond this small doorway on the right is the jump over to the expressway tunnel. We're going to take a quick look at the expressway tunnel now and show you how it returns back to the cornflakes area. At the T in the line, make a right turn, and then follow the line all the way to the end. Looking across the tunnel, we find another permanent line, which is in the Bone Room Tunnel. And if we follow the arrow, it will lead us back to the junction room just ahead of the cornflakes restriction. Now that we've completed our mini tour, let's get back to our mainline tunnel at the mud flats just ahead of our jump off to the expressway tunnel. After passing the mud flats area, we see a large opening to the left. This tunnel is the roller coaster, and we will look at it later on. And now along our main line, we enter a room called the Pillar Room, appropriately named. The large rock jutting from the ceiling with many line markers is the maple leaf. and it is located at the junction point between the big room and the main line tunnel. Returning to the junction room beyond the cornflakes restriction, we made a jump line to the bone room line. Up ahead to the left is where we just came from when we traversed the expressway tunnel in the previous chapter of the video cave map. The Devil's Eye cave system is so popular that it is quite possible to run across other cave divers exploring these passageways any time of the day or night. At the hard left turn just up ahead, John attaches his blue drive right exploration reel to this tie-off and proceeds in the direction pointed by the V made by the main line over the mound of clay silt. and then he proceeds through a low overhead passageway into a tunnel leading to the White Room. Now, back at the V in the line, we meet up with Lamar Hires, the third member of our team, who is outfitted with Dive Right's latest 350-watt super helmet light, as he will attempt to lead our video cave map camera on a tour of the big room. But even with a total of 1,000 watts of light on all three of our divers, we still could not penetrate the darkness of the Devil's Eye big room. Finally, reaching the Maple Leaf, we complete the Grand Tour Circuit tunnels in the Devil's Eye.